Just over 10 years ago, Gianni Infantino wasn't even supposed to become FIFA president. In fact, millions of football fans knew him simply as the bald man standing on stage during Champions League draws. So who exactly is Gianni Infantino? And how did a Swiss lawyer become one of the most powerful men in world football? His full name is Giovanni Vincenzo Infantino. He was born in 1970 in Brig, a small town in Switzerland close to the Italian border. His parents were Italian immigrants, and football was part of his life from an early age. But unlike many of the most powerful people in the game, Infantino was never a famous player or coach. Instead, he studied law at the University of Fribourg in Switzerland, and that legal background would eventually open the door to the football world. Before joining UEFA, Infantino worked at the International Center for Sports Studies in Switzerland. Then, in the year 2000, his career changed completely. He joined UEFA. Over the following years, Infantino slowly climbed through the organization. He worked in legal affairs and club licensing, became Deputy General Secretary, and eventually, in 2009, became UEFA's General Secretary. That made him one of the most important administrators in European football. Behind the scenes, he worked on major issues such as club competitions, commercial development, and financial fair play. But to ordinary football fans, Infantino became famous for something much simpler: the Champions League draw. At the time, very few of those fans could have imagined that this man would soon be running football. Because Gianni Infantino's path to the FIFA presidency happened almost by accident. In 2015, FIFA was in crisis. A huge corruption scandal had shaken the organization. Several senior football officials had been arrested or investigated, and longtime FIFA president Sepp Blatter announced that he would step down. European football already had a man expected to challenge for the FIFA presidency: Michel Platini. The former France superstar was president of UEFA and one of the most powerful figures in the sport. Infantino was his general secretary. But then, everything changed. Platini was suspended from football and could no longer continue his campaign as planned. UEFA suddenly needed another candidate. They chose Gianni Infantino. In October 2015, he entered the race for FIFA president. Only 4 months later, on February 26, 2016, he won the election. And he took control at one of the darkest moments in the organization's history. Infantino promised change. He spoke about restoring FIFA's reputation and rebuilding trust after years of scandal. But over the next decade, his presidency would transform world football in another major way. It became bigger. Under Infantino, the World Cup expanded from 32 teams to 48. More teams and more competitions mean more opportunities for countries around the world, and more FIFA revenue can mean more money distributed back into football. But critics see another side: more matches, more commercialization, more pressure on players, and more power concentrated inside FIFA. Then came Qatar. Just before the 2022 World Cup began, Infantino delivered what became one of the most controversial speeches ever given by a FIFA president. Responding to criticism of Qatar's human rights record and treatment of migrant workers, Infantino accused Europeans of hypocrisy. He also spoke about his own childhood. As the son of Italian immigrants growing up in Switzerland, Infantino said he had experienced discrimination himself because of his red hair, freckles, and background. But it was the opening of the speech that traveled around the world. Infantino said that he felt Qatari, he felt Arab, he felt African, he felt gay, he felt disabled, and he felt like a migrant worker. The reaction was enormous, and controversy continued to follow him. One relationship in particular attracted increasing attention: his relationship with Donald Trump. With the United States becoming the main host of the 2026 World Cup, Infantino and Trump appeared together repeatedly. Their relationship became unusually visible for a FIFA president and a political leader. FIFA even presented Trump with its first FIFA Peace Prize in 2025. And then came 2026. FIFA developed an ambitious plan involving the commercial rights connected to some of its biggest competitions. The proposal aimed to bring outside investors into a new commercial structure and raise billions of dollars. Infantino argued that this could generate enormous new revenue for global football. But opposition grew quickly. Football organizations questioned how the plan had been developed, how much influence private investors could gain. Eventually, the proposal collapsed. But the controversy didn't disappear with it. Football associations began withdrawing their support for Infantino ahead of the next FIFA presidential election. UEFA openly challenged FIFA's leadership. But there is another side to the story. While several European football associations have turned against him, he still has powerful supporters across world football. The football associations of Argentina and Mexico have publicly backed Infantino, while the Confederation of African Football has also expressed its support. And the timing couldn't be more important. The next FIFA presidential election is scheduled for March 18, 2027, in Morocco. Infantino has already confirmed that he intends to run for another term. But for perhaps the first time since he became FIFA president, his future no longer looks completely certain.